Hello guys, 23andMe have once again sponsored today's video, and while we've discussed just where the name Mother comes from for Mother's Day, Father's Day is soon approaching, so let's talk about the name Dad. We'll talk way more about 23andMe at the end of this video, and I'll even show you my very own 23andMe results as I promised in that previous video. But for now, let's delve into the world of the dad. Fathers, lovers of old television shows, 70s rock and truly awful puns. The name father of course has a very interesting history of its own, but like mother, who really calls their father father? There are many names in the English language you can call your father, and that interesting selection of names have quite a variety of spellings. Pretty much all names for mother start with an M, but with father there's of course father starting with an F. Then we have things like papa and pops starting with a P, and even more bizarrely we have dad, which starts with a D. Once we get into this, names starting with P will make a ton more sense, but how on earth did we get the name dad from the name father? So of course we will start from the top with father. Once again, much like mother, father dates all the way back to proto-indo-european, once again with a word I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce. And as proto-indo-european evolved and split into multiple languages, so did the word, becoming Vater in German, Vader in Dutch. Man, the Dutch must have seen that twist coming a mile away. And Vader in Old English, eventually turning into the modern day English word for them, father. So, what about names we have for dads that start with a P? Well, they too come from the proto-indo-european name. So many names for fathers in Pi languages start with a P, including the French Pirla, the Spanish Pagli, but perhaps most interesting for us, the Latin Pater. A lot of words associated with father in English, such as paternity and paternal, descend from this Latin name for father. Yet, while these words are used in relation to fathers in English, they're not actually names. I don't think I've ever called my dad just my paternal. So what about just dad? Just how do we go from words like pater and father to just plain old dad? Dad came into existence from the name DADA, so I suppose we should be asking how did we get DADA from father? Well, we have a mixed bag of things to thank for it. A mixture of names for fathers in other languages and babies. When babies first start acquiring a language, one of the first things they do is known as babbling. Am I having deja vu right now? So this has led to babies all around the world saying things like PAPAPAPA, which has been interpreted by French fathers as their child trying to say Pirla, which is of course where we get papa from, and where terms like pops and papi come from. Tata is the Polish informal term for a father, much like dad is to father in English, and that very well could have roots in baby babbling too, meaning babbling is most likely the origin of dad, coming from children saying da 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 da. But just why was Dada the babbling name that English-speaking humans decided on as the name their kids would use to refer to them, as opposed to something like Fafa, which sounds similar to father? Well, there are some names for father in the world that sound similar to dad. The Middle English dad and dad, but also phonetically similar, in a language still in use today, is the Welsh name for a father, Tad. And Welsh of course is a language very close to English. And by close I mean geographically close, not linguistically close, like they're right next to each other. Also, Dada is the most common first word for babies to say in the English language. It appears us English language natives have collectively decided when our babies are saying Dada, they're trying to say dad, which is similar to words like the Welsh tad and very much like French babies saying papa in an attempt of saying Pirla. Dads, despite trying to seem big and scary sometimes, are sentimental creatures. It was only logical they would connect the sound their baby is muttering is a name for them, as opposed to just accepting that their child is babbling nonsense. So we've been talking a lot about family recently here on the channel, and that's got me thinking about my own family and just how little I really know about my own family history. I know the basics, like I'm a quarter Maltese, a quarter Irish and half English, the Irish coming from my dad's side with his mother being Irish, and the Maltese coming from my mum's side with her mum being Maltese. But that's really it. Of course, that was it until 23andMe came along. 23andMe begins with a box that arrives on your doorstep with a test tube in it. That might sound really strange, and trust me, it is quite strange to just have this box with a test tube in it, and you're expected to just spit into this test tube. That's all you do, and then you send it off, and they bring back so many things that you may not even know about yourself to you. They tell you about your family history, your genetic traits. Everything that's come before you affects who you are today. I would love to share with you guys some of the things I found out about myself thanks to 23andMe. So obviously I knew about the British, Irish and Maltese sort of side of things, but that's only going back to my closest grandparents, my mum's and dad's parents. Yeah, I didn't really know what came before that, and thanks to that ancestry timeline you can view, you can see so much more further than that. I didn't know that only 3 generations ago I had Italian heritage, 4 to 5, 6 generations ago I was French and German, and if you go further back than that, you see things like North African, East African, Scandinavian heritage. Now, something else about myself, I know I'm not the best looking person in the world. I know I'm not your stereotypical Brad Pitt or whatever actor or actress you find attractive, and I know I can look a bit like a caveman, especially, trust me, if you see me in the mornings. But I didn't know there was anything to that. I just thought I was a bit of an odd looking guy. But also through 23andMe, I found out I have 286 Neanderthal variants within me. That's more than 62% of other 23andMe customers, with the top one having 397 variants. So that probably explains all of this. This is just a tiny selection of things I found out about myself thanks to 23andMe. But trust me guys, there's so much more you can know about yourself with this simple test kit. And you can now get $20 off your order if you order before Father's Day, and by going to www.23andme.com/nameexplain. That link will be down below. If you love this channel, just click that link, check out 23andMe. It will really help support things here. So why don't you check out 23andme.com and see what you have to find out about yourself. And with Father's Day coming up, that $20 off can make an awesome gift, not just for your father, but for the whole family to discover so much more about who they are and where they come from. So once again, that's www.23andme.com/nameexplain. Thank you.